Order of operations. What we're going to need to be able to do here is figure out what things need to be simplified first. Okay, why is that important? Why can't I just plug it all into my calculator, Mrs. Geyer? I don't understand. Why do I have to know how to do it? Your calculator does exactly what you tell it to do. Okay, and sometimes your calculator requires you to plug things in a certain way. Okay, and sometimes knowing the order of operations is helpful for that. So let's first talk, just simplify 2 plus 3 times 4. What do you think the answer is? Take a second, think about it. If I asked you to simplify 2 plus 3 times 4, what would you do? What would you say the answer to that is? I'll give everyone a second. Owen, what would you say? So Owen would say 2 plus 12, which would give us 14, right, Owen? Did anyone think something different? Here's what happens a lot of the time. Owen's correct. But here's what happens a lot. Aren't you guys used to reading left to right? So doesn't it kind of just come natural to do math from left to right? So what a lot of people will do is add first and get 5, and then multiply by 4 to get 20. The issue with that is the order of operations tells us that we need to multiply or divide first, okay? That's just one of those rules. So here, yes, the proper answer is 12, because if we want to follow our order of operations, we need to first, so the correct answer is 12, because we need to first multiply 3 times 4. So first step is to multiply 3 times 4. Right? And then we're going to add 2 to it. So we'll we'll add 2. So we should end up with a final answer of 12. And if you don't follow that order of operations, you end up something with a lot different, right? Or not, sorry, not 12, 14. My bad, I wrote the other number down. Right? 14 and 20 are really different. So it's going to be really important to follow your order of operations here. So, order of operations. Operations must go in this order. Parentheses. So if you see something in parentheses, do that first. Exponents. What does an exponent look like? Annalise? Yeah, it's like a number with another number kind of above it, right? A little tiny number, like 3 squared, right? That's an exponent. Good. Multiplication and division, they have to go from left to right. Addition and subtraction, they have to go from left to right. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Have we heard that before? Yeah, that's our order of operations. Except it can sometimes be a little deceiving, right? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You automatically, people tend to remember, oh, we have parentheses, then exponents. Where might you go wrong, though? Do you have to always multiply before you divide? No, if you take a look at this little statement here, multiplication and division always go from left to right. So if you see multiplication and division, go from left to right. You don't necessarily have to multiply first, okay? Go from left to right. Then same thing, when you see addition and subtraction, you need to go from left to right when you see those, okay? So parentheses always go first, exponent second, then multiply or divide from left to right, add or subtract from left to right. And really all we're doing then the rest is just practicing that. Okay, it's just an easy thing to make like silly mistakes on. Are there any questions so far? We good? We kind of remember talking about order of operations at some point? Okay, cool. So We're just going to practice some of these. Simplify. Make sure you follow the proper order of operations. We have 13 minus 5 plus 2. What should we simplify first? Brooklyn. Why 5 plus 6 first, Brooklyn? So you're correct about all that first part, but take a look back up at the top here. Addition and subtraction, you always have to go in what direction? Left to right. So we don't always have to add first. If you see addition and subtraction, you just want to go from left to right. So like in this situation, you're right. There's no parentheses, right? No exponents, no multiplication and division. All there is addition and subtraction. So we just go through our problems from left to right. Does that make sense? And that's one of the parts that's easily confused here. So we're going to first do our 13 minus 5. What's 13 minus 5 going to give us? 8. Good. And then we're going to have 8 plus 6. And then at that point, do we have to worry about any more order of operations? No. What's 8 plus 6 going to give us? 14. Good. Good. Good job, Bailey. All right. Number 2, here we have 20 divided by 5 times 3. So let's go through. Are there any parentheses? Any exponents? Is there multiplication and division? And when there's multiplication and division, what direction do we have to go? From left to right. So what should we do first? 20 divided by 5, exactly. 20 divided by 5 is going to give us, Annalise, 4. And we're going to then have 4 times 3, and 4 times 3 equals 12. Excellent. Good. Any questions so far? Okay. All right, number 3, we have 7 plus 14 divided by 2 times 3. Any parentheses? Any exponents? Any multiplication and division? Yes. Remember, always multiply and divide in what direction? Left to right. So, do we want to do 14 divided by 2 first or 2 times 3 first? Hannah. We want to do 14 divided by 2 first. Good. So, do I need to mess with that 7 in the front yet? No, we're just going to drop it down with us. We're going to have 7 plus, what's 14 divided by 2? 7 times 3. Now again, continue with your order of operations. What must we do next? Oh, and what do you think? Yeah, multiply the 7 and 3. 7 times 3 is going to give us 21. So we'll have 7 plus 21, which will simplify to be 28. Good. Also notice, guys, how I'm showing like steps for these. Not all of them are going to require a lot of steps, but on your homework, I expect to see some steps. If you just go straight to your final answer, that's no bueno. I want to see some work, okay? Number 4, 8 times 4 plus 9 minus 9 plus 10. Any parentheses? Any exponents? Any multiplication and division? Yeah, always go from left to right. So Jake, what do you think we're going to do first? 8 times 4, which is 32. So 32 plus 9 minus 9 plus 10. I'm just dropping the rest of that down there. So we're done with our multiplication and division. So now we're on to what? Adding and subtracting from left to right. So what should we do first? Hannah. 32 plus 9. 32 plus 9 is going to give us 41. Drop down our minus 9 and our plus 10. Then what? Hannah? 41 minus 9, which is going to give us 32. Add your 10, and you're going to get a final answer of 42. Good. Questions, concerns? Are we okay so far? Cool. Yeah, this isn't going to take us very long at all, don't worry. All right. Onward. People at home, are we good? Any questions yet? All right. Number 5, we got 10 divided by 5 plus 10 minus 9 times 11. Any parentheses? No. Any exponents? No. Do we have multiplication and division? Yeah, always go from left to right. And I know I'm repeating, but I'm repeating so that we remember, okay? So where should we start then if we need to multiply and divide from left to right? What do we think? Jake? 10 divided by 5, which is 2. So start with your 10 divided by 5. That's going to give you 2. Drop down your plus 10, your minus 9, and your times 11. Someone else, then what? Annalise. 9 times 11. Very good. So drop down your 2, drop down your 10, and then negative 9 times 11 is going to give us negative 99. All right. Now, we're done with our multiplication and division. Where do we go from here? Hannah? Yeah, add and subtract from left to right. 2 plus 10 is 12, and 12 minus 99. You might need to break out the calculator for this one. That's okay. It is negative 87. Oh, wait, not negative 87. Close. Wait, now I'm brain farting. Hold on. It's early. I haven't had my coffee yet. You are right. It is negative 87. All right, good. Jake, killing it with the mental math, man. Look at you. All right. Good job. Number 2. Actually, you know what? We're going to come back to number 2. Or not number 2, number 6, because I'm going to have you guys try that one on your own in a second. Okay, same thing for you guys at home. And then also same thing with 8. You're going to try 6 and 8 on your own in a second. So we're going to skip down to number 7. We have the quantity. When I say the quantity, that's implying that something's in parentheses. So the quantity of 3 minus 1 squared times 4 plus 2. So do we have parentheses in this situation? Yes. What's happening inside of those parentheses? Subtraction. So we must do that first. Okay, so we have to simplify whatever's in our parentheses first. So we're going to do that. Now, something I want to warn you guys about is just because you're going to solve what's in the parentheses, you can like go ahead and drop them if you want. You don't have to rewrite them. But sometimes it's nice if you do rewrite them, especially when you have like weird negative numbers, or maybe there's more than one thing you need to do in the parentheses. Okay, so here we're going to have 2. So it's because 3 minus 1 is 2. So you'll have 2 squared times 4 plus 2. So we got rid of our parentheses. Do we have any exponents? Yeah. What does that do? An exponent, a squared. What does that mean? Exactly. Yes. The exponent tells you how many times to multiply it by itself. So 2 squared means 2 times 2. If you had 5 squared, it would mean 5 times 5. If you had 7 squared, it would mean 7 times 7. Same thing if it was like a cubed, like what you said, right? If you had 4 to the, No, you did. No, yeah, you did. Like if it was 4 to the third, it'd be 4 times 4 times 4. Yeah, you said it correctly. All right, so 2 squared, that's like 2 times 2, which is 4, exactly. So you'll have 4 times 4 plus 2. So what step are we on to now? Hannah? Multiplying and dividing from left to right. I like the way you said it. What do we do then, Hannah? So who are we multiplying? Oops. Yeah, 4 times 4. My computer's having a connection. 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So 16 plus 2, and 16 plus 2 is going to give us a final answer of 18. Excellent. Are we good with that one? All right. Number 6. Bailey actually helped us out here on the chat. So Bailey said that you needed to turn your 3 plus 1 into a 4. So we got 10 minus 2 times 4. And then Bailey said to multiply the 2 and the 4 to get 8. So that's 10 minus 8. And we all should have gotten a final answer of 2. Were we good with that? Cool. On to 8. Somebody else. Where do I start? With 8. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm still choking to death. This is fun. Okay, we're back. Where do we start? Yeah, 4 times 4, right? 4 squared is 16. So we have 10 minus 3 times 2 plus 16. Good, then what? Yep, 3 times 2 is 6. So that's 10 minus 6 plus 16. Go from left to right. 10 minus 6 is 4. Plus 16 equals 20. Good. Any questions about any of those?